What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you guys having a great day so far. In today's video, we're going to talk about a question that was asked of me on stream recently, and it really brought something top of mind, and I wanted to share with you guys some more fleshed out thoughts about this question. And the question was, which area of the game does Plarium need to address most urgently, or something along those lines? And this game, like, honestly, I wouldn't say that this game is perfect, but I enjoyed playing the game. I wouldn't be able to play this game in the way that I do if I didn't actually enjoy it. So I do enjoy this game. Now, with that being said, can this game be better? Yes, absolutely. There's many areas in the game where it can improve. Now, if there was only one area in the game where I want the player to kind of look at, or at least move to the top of their priority list, it's probably going to be Chimera. And Chimera is the first spot where I thought of when I was asked this question. Now, the reason why I picked Chimera and not some other area, yes, I know Chimera is more end game focused. It's probably the most end game clan boss. Obviously, Demon Lord's the beginning clan boss, and then we have Hydra. And then after you get the gear from Hydra, then you can move on to Chimera and have some more success. So Chimera to me is the end game, more end game clash boss out of these three. And for most people, I would say Chimera is just an afterthought. They don't even think about it. Now, that's one of the problems here, right? We'll get into that. So what I wanted to do in this video was kind of create a list of issues with the Chimera and then provide some solutions or suggestions. And then I'm going to put this in a Word document, and I'm going to send this over to Plarium because the Chimera format has been out for about a year and a half now, and they definitely have been overdue for a little bit of an update, especially in the way that it currently is right now. It definitely needs it. So let's take a quick look here. First off, we have two battles every week, two battles that we have to play through, right? So we don't have the option to auto through any of this, right? So we don't have, we can auto, but we don't have the option to instant battle. Sorry, excuse me. So it does mean that you have to sit through the entire fight. Now, if you want to do, basically full damage against the boss to clear off some of these top chest rewards, then there's no way around it. You're going to have to sit through the entire fight. Usually these fights are between 25, 35 minutes. And then you have to do that twice. And then, of course, that's if there's no excessive RNG, so if there's no reruns or anything like that. Otherwise, you're just adding more and more time. Now, something like the clan boss, Demon Lord clan boss, they implemented the quick battle, which was absolutely amazing. It literally saves people hours out of their day from doing all those keys. As long as you can clear the top chest in one key, then you're good to go, get the quick battle in. Now, I think they should implement this in Chimera as well, just to save some of the headache of it for a lot of people. I know some people that don't really care. They just want to get through it. Just click a quick battle and get through it. Now, another way that they can actually improve that is by basically making the Chimera boss work properly with background battles. So for example, if you have something working in the background, I mean, this can be applied to many areas, but if you have something working in the background, like dungeons and stuff, why not let us run Chimera? Why not let us run Hydra? Just something like that to make us a little bit more efficient in terms of using our time in this game. The last thing I want to do is basically run Chimera over and over again while not being able to run dungeons in the background, for example, or run Doom Tower in the background. So fixing the background battles would go a long way to kind of alleviating some of the time requirement for the Chimera. Now, that's kind of going to lead me into my next kind of point here, and that's going to be, rewards for your time. So if you're spending hours of the week trying to do your Chimera, trying to do trials, trying to do max damage, whether it's to win your Chimera clash or to get trials, the rewards are very underwhelming. So I'm going to collect some of these rewards here. I'm going to show you guys exactly what we're working with. So I'm going to do the Ultra Nightmare top chest. Top chest reward, right? This is the shebang here. This is what we want from the Ultra Nightmare clan boss. And then this is where, we're getting our legendary books, our sacred shards. We're happy to open it. But for Chimera, you can kind of see here, it's just absolute dog crap. There's nothing here of significant value. You're getting a couple rare mats. You're getting a quarter of a rare relic, less than a quarter of an epic or rare relic. And then how many of these legendary mats do you need to get one single craft, right? And the majority will be an epic relic. So here we got a couple of gems, starstone, 550 starstones. That's enough to remove one mythical relic once, like remove one mythical relic. So that's the top chest. That's double chest, top reward. And then we cleared second place in our Chimera Clash. RIP, right? 10 million, 10 million, I think, or 10 billion difference, but very small difference there. And this is second place. What do we get for second place? right? What do we get for second place for all of this? Like, for example, in Siege, if you win Siege, you're getting a boatload of stuff. Gear, mythical gear, if you're in Siege tier 6, you're getting primal quartz if you're winning tier 6 or above. You're getting potentially relic materials if you're winning. Not even compared to like the Demon Lord clan boss, which is giving you shards and books. The 2-star and 3-star basalt loses its value very, very quickly. And these rare and epic gemstones are basically worthless out of the first couple months of grinding these gemstones. All right, so that was like second place. So I'm going to hop over to my alt account and I'll show you guys what a first place reward looks like. So here we got the first place reward. You guys might be thinking that's going to be significantly better. This is winning Clash, by the way. Hey, we got 2 rare gemstones instead of 1 rare gemstone and 1 epic gemstone. Pretty bad. It's pretty bad. That's for winning your clash, right? This is your weekly thing, right? This is a big deal. You just get nothing for your time invested in this format. Like here we go. We got the top chest, Ultra Nightmare, chess. We got a quarter of a rare relic. We got half of a rare relic basically per week. It's nothing. It's nothing, guys. Now, the obvious suggestion here is to kind of just to boost the, boost the rewards, right? For some of the top rewards. So Clash reward, winner of Clash or top 3 Clash boosted rewards, right? Maybe more Starstone, maybe higher chance of getting some of these, higher tier relics. Even throw, higher tier basalts in there would be kind of interesting. Like right now we're capped at what, 2-star basalts for Ultra Nightmare, for the Ultra Nightmare top chest. And I think honestly, these relic materials probably need to be boosted as well, like doubled. Now the first place Clash chest, this needs to be boosted as well. There needs to be just more stuff in here. Maybe provide, I think the easiest part would be to provide primal quartz. That would be like the minimum just to get some more interest in trying to get top 3 in Chimera Clash. Definitely need to throw some Starstones in here. And you probably just need to throw some relic materials in here as well. But I think just starting off with throwing primal quartz in the top 3 chests, that's going to get a little bit more interest in trying to compete for these top 3 spots. Because right now, a lot of these players, are either contemplating between going for damage or going for trials. When you're doing trials, you're at least going to guarantee yourself some, higher end mats, materials. So it actually makes it worthwhile for you. Like, for example, if you're targeting some of these trials, at least you can kind of walk away with some mythical mats and then you might get a chance at your mythical relic, right? So it's just way more impactful to get a chance at a mythical relic than it is to, win your clash to get some of those low end rewards like the rare material, epic material, rare gemstones, epic gemstones. Those is just not worth the effort. So yeah, it's reasonable to say that people will just totally ignore Chimera in its current state. And you can argue that even farming for mythical mats from trials is totally not worth it either. So people don't even bother with this part either. So honestly, Plarium needs to, definitely fix this part. Make it more rewarding for your time. It's already a very big struggle to play this format, which leads into my next gripe, which is restrictive damage champions. There's only so many champions that you can bring into Chimera that is capable of doing top end damage. Like top end damage, I'm not even talking about like top damage. I'm just talking about top chest. How many champions can do top chest damage for Ultra Nightmare? Not that many. There's not that many, to be honest. Ninja with Mikage, Marius can do it. Newt can do it, maybe with some help. I think Whisper can do it too. Obviously, Titus can do it. But if you're counting on your hand, how many champions that can you can use, you can lean on to at least do this much amount of damage. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad, and I definitely think they need to open that up a little bit. My suggestion is basically just make the Chimera a little bit more susceptible to more things. So why not, give the Chimera a damage, they take more damage if they're under HP burn, or they take more damage if they're under poisons or whatever. Just make them a little bit weaker so that more damage can get through from different types of damage dealers, so that it's a little bit more accessible for people, right? So they're not pigeonholed into these specific champions to deal the damage. Now, another part that I thought would be really, really helpful is actually giving us the ability to basically add area bonuses. So giving area bonuses to Chimera Giving us the ability to allocate stats to Chimera would be a huge help in basically making more champions more powerful. It's going to lessen the gear requirement for your teams. So then you can bring in perhaps some different types of champions to test out and generally make some of the teams less restrictive, right? So it's going to open up a little bit more build, creativity. I think that would be a relatively, well received change if they just added area bonuses to Chimera. Now, quickly talking about trials here a little bit. So for trials, guys, yeah, it's very difficult to score very high on these trials. You're very often juggling between trials or damage. Now, I feel like some of these trials are okay, and some of these trials, yes, they need to be difficult, but I think most of them are very restrictive. Some of them you can't do without specific champions because they just don't offer enough. For example, like Veil champions, for example, decreased resistance champions. For example, this, whatever this is, reflect damage, pain link. It's just, what is this? You know what I mean? So yeah, focusing a lot on these very specific abilities makes it really hard for players to even bother looking or caring about this. So I think I don't have a clear solution here, but I think Plarium definitely needs to audit some of these trials, rejig them a little bit, make them a little bit more accessible, or if they're going to keep this level of difficulty, improve the rewards. Give more rewards for these trials if they wanted to head this way. Right now, people already favor trials, so you probably don't need to buff more reasons for people to do trials. But as it is right now, most people don't give a hoot about these trials because most of them are not achievable for a lot of different players. All right, on to my next kind of gripe here, the 3%. So obviously having runs fail because 3% RNG happens is very frustrating. So for example, if you're running your tightest team and then you suddenly get your shield stripped off or whatever, very frustrating. It's going to cost you, all your time, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes of your run is gone. You're going to have to rerun, etc. And since there's no quick battle as one of the solutions for the runtime for Chimera, we have to run it again, right? So it's literally going to cost us that time. And since we can't do something in the background, it's going to cost us, progression from our account, for example. Now, 3%, I understand why it's in the game, but I thought maybe like an elegant solution for this would be to provide maybe more options in the future, like champions or relics that give the ability to land debuffs that are irresistible against bosses. I think that'd be really strong without breaking the champion, in PvP, for example. If you make the debuff irresistible against bosses, it could really help just to alleviate some of these 3% that happen that cause your team to fail, for example. So you could have, a relic that applies decreased attack that's irresistible for a boss. I don't think that's going to break, any kind of arena meta. I think it's going to be a decent inclusion for boss fights so that you can reduce that 3% frustration. And lastly, I think you can't talk about Chimera without talking about relics. So the whole relic system, I think, is totally it doesn't make a lot of sense in terms of how we navigate around this user interface. So for example, if I wanted to make food, guys, so I would have to click the relic, upgrade the relic, go to 3, click upgrade, use one of these stones, which is like this. This is ridiculous. This should be just one, right? Just one stone with a number. Why do I have to scroll down? It's ridiculous. Anyways, so rank up, and then I have to click this again. And now I have to, go here and then go back and click this. And then again, here we go. The scrolling. Anyways, it doesn't make sense. It's really clunky. It's terrible. They need to fix this. That's the first thing. They need to fix this. It's a hot mess. But we're going to talk about the actual crafting RNG here. And basically, this ties in back into the reward part, right? If you're spending so much time in Chimera trying to grind out these trials, you could be grinding like months for one craft. And, it shouldn't be a guarantee that you get something really nice, but give us the best chance possible, please. We're begging for something like Mercy here, right? We're begging for something from Mercy for mythical relics. It's absolutely painful. It's absolutely unacceptable for you to basically go forever without getting a mythical relic, even if you're just constantly doing all the content. I think a small Mercy system would definitely help. Now, I also thought about a possible solution for targeting some of these different relic categories because we're always very, unhappy when we get all the standard stuff because standards, we're just going to have tons of different standard stuff. There's also this problem or situation that Plarium has to deal with where they're getting an ever growing catalog of, relics, right? They're getting a catalog of relics that are going to be time limited, and they're going to have to cook up events to bring them back in some way, right? So, for example, these event group relics, they're gone once the event ends, but we're going to have more events, guys, and you guys, you bet your butts that there's going to be more relics coming. So there's going to be an ever growing list of relics that are no longer in the game. So I was thinking that you guys could implement some kind of charm or charms similar to how we craft artifacts, where we can boost the rates. We're going to boost the rates of what our artifacts looks like in the relic crafting system. There should be some way to boost the rate of targeting those groups. That would be amazing, right? Giving us the charms to allow us to pick which group that we want to target and giving us a chance at that group. Also, giving us charms just to boost the rates of the pulls would be absolutely amazing in terms of the rarity for the relics. So a little bit of a tweak here in the relic system would actually go a long way in terms of giving us some choice as to targeting, also giving us some ability to increase our rates would be absolutely amazing. And then implementing a mercy system would just be, the icing on the cake for this. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Like I said, I'm going to put these notes down in the document. I'm going to send it over to Plarium and see what they think. I think they're probably due for some kind of update for some of these major areas. I think Siege is the other one that probably needs a little bit of a look over as well. Siege just needs more ways to get data or information from your clan or have more control over what your clan does. For example, we don't know how many scrolls each individual has. Why like just give us that data. It doesn't make sense. But anyways, Siege definitely needs some help as well. But I think Chimera is probably due for a small update. For example, this chest for first place is totally unacceptable. It doesn't make any sense. It's just terrible. And if you hop over to the battles, if you hop over to the top chest Ultra Nightmare, if you hop to the ultimate chest, you guys may or may not know, but this only drops circular gems. I don't know why. So you might have noticed that you only get circular gems from this top chest. So the only way to get non-circular gems is to win top 3 in Clash. I mean, is that enough reason to, go for top 3? I don't think so. So they definitely need to boost up, whatever is in these chests to make people care. And especially with new areas like Grim Forest giving us so much good stuff, why would people bother, spending so much effort in Chimera when you get so much more enjoyment out of the game from places like Grim Forest and they reward you for spending the time there? And ultimately, that's the biggest thing, where Chimera is just not super enjoyable to play. I don't hear anybody saying, oh man, I can't wait to do my Chimera keys this week. Oh man, I can't wait to jump into this. Oh man, I wish I had more Chimera keys to do because I'm so hyped to do trials. No, nobody says that about Chimera. So the bottom line is make the mode fun, make the mode rewarding. Otherwise, we'll just ignore the mode. And I think that's what most people do. So I just want to see the game do better if it can do better. And this is one of the areas where I think it needs the most help. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts and comments below about this. Do you guys think that Chimera is the area that needs the most help, most attention from Plarium? What do you guys think would really help bring your attention back to Chimera? Would boosting rewards draw you back into this format? You guys let me know in the comments below. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you guys. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys smash that like and subscribe button. Really, really helps me out. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.